Be honest with me. How many times have you been shopping, seen a dress that is absolutely stunning, the perfect color, the perfect length, the perfect fabric, only to turn it around, see that it's sleeveless, and put it right back on the rack? Or maybe you bought it, it's sitting in your closet right now, waiting for that perfect day when you feel brave enough to show your arms. We've all been there. We look in the mirror and all we see is the texture, the loss of firmness, or what some people unkindly call bat wings. We feel uncomfortable, and so we hide. But here is the truth we don't talk about enough in our 60s and 70s. Style is not a shadow. You shouldn't have to dim your light or cover up a masterpiece of a dress just because of a few inches of skin. Society tells us that after a certain age, we should cover up to be appropriate. I say, let's stop trying to be appropriate and start being elegant. There is a massive difference. Elegance isn't about hiding, it's about curating. Today, I'm putting down the heavy cardigans and the security blankets that make us look bulkier than we are. I want to show you that you can wear that sleeveless dress you love. Now, let's talk about trick number 1. Usually when we feel exposed in a sleeveless dress, our first instinct is to grab a cardigan. But here's the problem. A knitted cardigan often cuts your body in half visually. It adds bulk to your shoulders, it hides the beautiful waistline of your dress, and frankly, it can feel a bit dated. Instead of putting something over the dress that hides it, we are going to put something under the dress that enhances it. I call this the featherweight layer. I want you to look for high-quality, ultra-fine mesh or second skin tops. These aren't the scratchy fishnets from the 80s. We're looking for micro mesh or delicate lace with a lot of stretch. When you wear a sheer long sleeve top under your dress, something magical happens. It acts like a real-life photo filter for your arms. It softens the texture of the skin, blurs any discoloration, and provides that coverage feeling without actually hiding your shape. Plus, because the fabric is so thin, it doesn't create those awkward bumps under the bodice of your dress. The secret to making this look expensive and intentional, not like an afterthought, is monochrome styling. If you have a black dress, wear a black mesh top. If your dress is a soft cream linen, look for a nude or champagne lace underlayer. When the colors match perfectly, it looks like the dress was designed with sheer sleeves. It's sophisticated, it's modern, and it's incredibly comfortable because these fabrics breathe. One pro tip, look for cropped mesh tops or even arm tights. You don't always need a full bodysuit. You just need the sleeves and the shoulder coverage. This keeps you cool, perfect for those of us who still deal with a bit of personal climate change, if you know what I mean. We've all been there. You're at a wedding or a lovely dinner, wearing a sleeveless dress, and you've brought a heavy pashmina to hide your arms. But what happens? You spend the whole night clutching it. It slips, it slides, and every time you reach for your appetizer, it falls into your plate. Not only is it frustrating, but it actually draws more attention to your arms because you're constantly adjusting them. Today, we're moving away from the security blanket and toward the airy wrap. The secret to an elegant wrap is transparency and weight. Instead of a solid, heavy wool, I want you to look for open weave linen, silk chiffon, or high-end organza. Why? Because these fabrics float. When you walk, they move with the air, giving people a peekaboo look at your arms without revealing everything. It's mysterious, it's sophisticated, and most importantly, it's light as a feather. You don't feel like you're wearing a coat, you feel like you're wearing an aura of elegance. Here is my favorite trick for keeping a wrap in place without holding it. The asymmetrical knot. Instead of wrapping it straight across your back like a towel, drape it over one shoulder, bring the other end under the opposite arm, and secure it with a beautiful vintage brooch or a simple clear hair tie. Suddenly, you have a one-sleeved architectural masterpiece. Your hands are free, the wrap stays put, and your silhouette looks like it walked right off a runway in Milan. If your dress is a solid, smooth silk, go for a wrap with texture, maybe a crinkled linen or a burnout velvet. That contrast in fabric makes the outfit look expensive. It tells the world, I didn't just throw this on to hide. I chose this piece to complete my look. Sometimes, the reason we feel uncomfortable in a sleeveless dress has nothing to do with our arms and everything to do with the math of the dress. Many sleeveless designs come with tiny, delicate spaghetti straps. While they look lovely on a hanger, on a mature body, they often create an optical illusion we want to avoid. Think about it. A very thin line next to a wider surface, like the shoulder or the upper arm, actually makes that surface look larger by comparison. It's a contrast issue. If the strap is too thin, it looks like it's struggling to hold the dress up, which creates a sense of tension. We want our clothes to look effortless, not like they're working overtime. The elegant fix is what I call the power strap. When you're shopping, look for straps that are at least 3 fingers wide. Why does this work? A wider strap creates a visual anchor on the shoulder. It covers the area where the shoulder meets the arm, which is often where we feel the most exposed, and it balances the proportions of the upper body. It creates a vertical line that draws the eye up toward your face rather than out toward the width of your arms. Plus, practically speaking, a wider strap means you can wear a supportive, comfortable bra without worrying about peekaboo straps all day. Total win-win. We also need to look at the neckline. If you're worried about your arms, avoid a square or horizontal neckline that cuts straight across. That horizontal line directs the eye straight to the armpits and the widest part of the arm. Instead, look for a deep V-neck or an asymmetrical neckline. These shapes create a diagonal pull. They draw the viewer's gaze inward and downward toward the center of your body. When the focus is on a stunning necklace or a beautiful neckline, the arms become the background rather than the main event. One last pro tip for this trick. Check the armholes. At 60 plus, our skin is softer. If an armhole is cut too high or too tight, it pinches the skin, creating a bulge that wasn't there to begin with. Look for a dropped armhole or a dress with a bit of a cutaway racer back. It sounds counterintuitive to show more of the shoulder blade, but it actually elongates the limb and makes the arm look leaner and more athletic. If you want to look instantly 10 years younger and 20% more effortless, this is your secret weapon. I call this the cool girl button-down. We often think of a button-down shirt as something for the office, but when paired with a sleeveless dress, it becomes the ultimate style transformer. It takes a dress that feels too exposed or too formal and gives it a relaxed European holiday vibe. It's the difference between looking like you're trying too hard and looking like you just happen to look this fabulous. The key here is not to wear the shirt closed. We aren't trying to hide the dress. We're using the shirt as a lightweight duster or a shrug. Try this. Put the shirt on over your dress, leave it completely unbuttoned, and take the 2 front tails and tie them in a soft knot right at your natural waist. This defines your silhouette and creates a beautiful V shape. Then, and this is the most important part, roll the sleeves to the 3/4 mark. For most of us over 60, the wrist and the forearm remain the leanest, most elegant parts of our arms. By showing off the wrist and covering the upper arm, you create a visual slim down that is incredibly flattering. Texture is everything. For a daytime garden party or a casual lunch, a crisp white linen shirt is unbeatable. It has structure, which means it stays away from the body and doesn't cling to your arms. If you're heading out for an evening event, try a sheer silk or an oversized organza shirt in the same color as your dress. It provides a halo effect, a soft, blurry layer of protection that looks like high-end evening wear rather than a cover-up. And one final tip for the cool girl look, pop the collar. It frames your face, adds a bit of height, and draws the eye upward. When you walk into a room with a popped collar and rolled sleeves, no one is looking at your arms, they're looking at your attitude. We've talked about layers, fabrics, and cuts, but what if you just want to wear the dress exactly as it is? No sleeves, no wraps, just you. This is where we use the oldest trick in the fashion book, the art of misdirection. In magic, the magician makes you look at one hand so you don't see what the other is doing. In fashion, we create a focal point so spectacular that arm concerns simply disappear from the viewer's mind. If you give people something brilliant to look at, that is exactly where their eyes will stay. First, let's talk about the skin itself. Often, what makes us uncomfortable isn't the shape of our arms, but the dullness of the skin. As we get older, skin can lose its luster. The fix? Hydration and light. Use a body oil or a lotion with a very fine, sophisticated shimmer. Nothing glittery, we aren't teenagers, and apply it specifically to the high points of your shoulder and your collarbone. When the light hits that glow, it creates a youthful, healthy lift. It makes the skin look firm and intentional. It's not about hiding the arm, it's about making the arm look like a polished part of the ensemble. Now for the final touch, the statement accessory. If you are wearing a sleeveless dress, this is the time to go big. Put on that oversized, chunky necklace, those dramatic drop earrings, or a vibrant silk scarf tied high around the neck. By placing a visual weight near your face, you create a magnet for the eyes. People will comment on your incredible necklace or how your earrings bring out the color of your eyes. The arms simply become the elegant frame for the main picture, which is you. 5 tricks. 5 ways to stop letting a sleeve, or a lack of one, dictate your confidence. Whether you're choosing the featherweight layer or the cool girl button down, remember that style at 60 and beyond isn't about following rules. It's about knowing the tricks that make you feel like the best version of yourself. Your arms have a history, and that history is beautiful. Now go put on that dress, use one of these tricks, and walk into that room like you own it. Because you do. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 tricks are you going to try first?